little touches here and there that makes this boat so special.
Welcome back, sailors. I have something very special for you today. Today we are looking at an Island Packet 380, and not only are we going to do a walkthrough on this boat, we are actually going to go off and do a 24-hour sail on it. Now, the gentleman that owns this boat is a friend of mine, Mansour, and we're going to meet him in a couple of minutes. But let's have a look at this actual boat. It's fantastic. Island Packet, as you know, are an American-made boat. I particularly like the style. Very classic lines. Wonderful blue water sailing boat. Absolute made to cross oceans. If you're going to look for a liveaboard or a forever boat, this is probably going to be your choice. We've got a cutter rig set up on this one. There's double rollers up on the bow. We're going to have a look at that when we pull in the fuel dock in a couple of minutes, and we'll have a good look around. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to the owner of this boat, Mr. Mansour. Would you like to say hello?
Hi everyone.
Okay.
Well, we're starting on a very calm and very easy morning, actually. No
Yes.
wind, so getting out of this dock is going to be kind of an easy job.
It is, isn't
hopefully.
it? It's a
And
well, we hope we have everything laid up here to go out. Now we are having a little bit of trouble with the bow thruster, so we're not using the bow thruster this morning. It's a little bit grey, a little bit overcast, but it's warm here in Portugal. It's the 2nd of March and it's warm. I'm in a t-shirt. I think we'll be in shorts and t-shirt later on. So let's see how we get on, and we'll be having a good look around this boat. And the hardware, as I say, it's absolutely built across oceans. You can see that. It's evident from the stays that are holding up the mast, the cutter rig. It's got a height boom. We're not used to that here in Europe. That's an American setup they have, but makes it very easy to sail when it's short-handed. So as for a couple or even possibly a solo sailor like me, this would be the boat to have. Let's look at the mast on this boat. This has in-mast furling. And look at this. You have to admire the way that they've left this open. Okay, so there's your furling line. It's attached there, so it just keeps it always in the right location. And that's it. Look, all nice and open. Very easy to see if there was a problem there. But that travelling car pulls it out the boom. Okay, very easy boat to sail. Let's continue our little tour with a walk up the side decks, and again, look at that, handholds all the way up to the top. This is what we want to see. Good security all the way up to the top. And look at the foredeck here. Look at the size of this. Absolutely wonderful spot to sit in the evening time when you're at anchor. You can pop your back against that there and just enjoy floating around with a massive anchor keeping you steady. Second anchor on this boat, because as I said, it was that's a fortress anchor that they have set up there. The couple, as we have said, wanted to do some serious blue water cruising on this boat, and who can blame them? And I have great respect for people who actually put their plans into motion. Let's look at the bowsprit on this boat. Wonderful big bowsprit. And we were messing around there the other day, sitting out on the bowsprit as we were motoring along, breaking through the waves, and it was wonderful, lovely place. Huge big anchor receivers there to hold them in. We've got a windlass down here, Lumar windlass. Let's see if we can focus in on the Lumar windlass. And then the fortress is simply some chain. Okay, look back over the boat. We've got the inner sail, the jib, and we're down here on a harken. Okay, we've got harken there, and we've got this one over here, this furler. Again, it's a harken. Okay, so we've got the two of them there, and let's have a look. Let's talk about this height boom here. This is designed to keep the jib pulled out, and then it can be controlled from this line here. So we can control the height boom from this line here. That comes up around the back, and it's a self-tacker. It's an American self-tacker. Okay, again, we've got our handhold all the way down. Dorado vents, and they're covered. There's another bracing point there. Look at that. You can brace yourself on that. No granny bars on this boat, but plenty of bracing points. We'll work our way down. Again, more bracing, second Dorado vent there. We've got the main sheet traveller up on the coach roof, so that's keeping that away. Coming back down to the spray hood, we've got another handhold there, and then we are into the cockpit. Now the plan here is to take this boat out for 24 hours or maybe 48 hours, and we're not going to sail the boat. We're going to do that in a separate video. This particular video is to see what the boat is like, what's it like to live with an island packet, to spend a night, 2 overnights on it. Is it a comfortable boat? I can tell you it's already a comfortable boat. Even walking around it, I feel this is a really comfortable boat. We'll do the sailing in another episode where we get everything going. It's a cutter rig, in-mast sail on the main, and there is a spinnaker, I think, as well for this boat. This boat was set up to go across the Atlantic. There's a lot of equipment on it that's not really needed here for coastal sailing, but it's great that it's there because it gives you the option that if you do want to go on an extended passage on this boat, the capability is there. Now I have to say, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I'm super excited to get out here on the water. So let's go.
And is this your very first sail on an island package?
This is my very first sail on an island packet, and I know we've only left the marina a couple of minutes ago. Already there's a smile on my face. I'm enjoying this. This boat, I think, as I just said, we've got 20 knots now coming in, just a little off the nose. I mean, we could play snooker on this boat. It's that stable. I actually really like this boat.
Oh.
So hopefully there'll be a lot more to come from our little adventure, our 24 hours on an island packet. Okay, we're just approaching some dinghy sailing, so we got to watch out a little bit here. 2000 RPM on the engine, and this boat is rock solid. Absolutely solid boat in the water. Beautiful movement. I'm sitting back. I don't know whether you can see that. Beautiful, comfortable seat. Look, I'll get up and show you. I can sit back and relax. I mean, you could cross the Atlantic in a boat like this, no problem. Absolutely huge amount of space here in the cockpit. And look how steady the boat is. We'll just have a quick look up and show you how it's motoring through the water. And remember, that was a 22 knot headwind, and the boat is absolutely stable. Wonderful place to be. And the skipper is ready. Hopefully you won't need the wet gear. We're just preparing in case there's some rain. There is a few clouds. Very heavy rain this morning, but it has dried up a bit, but it's better to be ready. Okay. I've got the best seat in the house. I can see forward and I can see back, and I can look straight down and I can see the rudder. So let me tell you, if an orca was foolish enough to come up behind us, I'm going to see him straight away at the back, and I'm ready to deploy anything we need to deploy. This is fantastic. Amazing view from sitting back here, and so comfortable as well. Okay, so we're here in Faro. We have anchored the boat out in the lagoon. It's out here, it's the furthest boat out, and it is high tide. So we've come in and we've brought the little tender all the way into the center of Faro. In order to get here, we had to come under this little bridge. Now it is high tide and it's a spring tide, so the gap is as low as it's going to be, and we managed to sneak ourselves in, and now I think it's time for a beer. What do you think, Mansour? A beer?
I'm on for it.
Let's go get a beer. I just have to show you the view here. We're in the Faro Lagoon. Okay, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening and the sun has just gone down, and look at this. This is fantastic. We're here, of course, on the Island Packet 380. We've anchored here for the night. This is our second night now on anchor. It's like staying in a 5-star hotel. Everything is fantastic about this boat. I want one. But let's just have a look at this. Okay, so this is the lagoon now. It's high tide and we're kind of on springs at the moment, so the water's well up. But there we are, and that's Faro there off in the distance. I don't know whether you can see the lights. Actually, it's Faro's over here. There's Faro off in the distance. We've just had some wonderful fish and some beers, 2 beers, very sensible, and we've taken the dinghy back, and the dinghy is there on the back. We have the dinghy there tendered on, 2.4 meter, which is fine for 2 adults, and a little Mariner engine. Very impressed with that engine. That engine hasn't been used in nearly 2 years. 2 pulls of the cord, off it went. Perfect. Put some fresh petrol in it. Didn't have to go clean out the carburetor bowl or anything like that. Fresh petrol in it, and we've used it for the last 2 days. It's been perfect. So, fair play, Mariner. You build a quality product, which is something I like to see. That was a nice smooth departure. Teamwork.
Absolutely.
We'll leave a bit of space between us and the green marker. We're plenty on the deck. So.
Thank you.
Why the Island Packet brand?
Well, I've been motoring for 40 plus years, and then suddenly I said, okay, I need to change to a sailboat. And this all happened during the COVID time. And before I was looking at basically trawler yachts, and then suddenly I said, why not the sailboat? Then I started researching. And in my research, there were 4 things that were very important for me. It had to be well built, it had to be safe, it had to be comfortable, and forgiving, because I was just starting to sail at age 70, or it was like a little earlier, but at 70 I decided, I said, no wasting time. So for my 70th birthday, I picked up what I had basically selected as to be the right boat. And I looked at all the European boats, the American boats, Australian, South African, or wherever they build the boats. And this Island Packet basically ticked all the marks. And in particularly the IP380, which is this one.
Okay.
And what it has the volume and the capacity to be a very comfortable cruising boat that you can cruise for months at end or years at end for a couple, a family. And it's got 2 lovely cabins. It's extremely well built. There's no condensation whatsoever in this boat. I mean, that's a very important thing, because I looked at the other boats. One of the things people were complaining all the time was condensation. And there's no condensation because it's a double layer. And temperature inside is very well maintained. So if you've got cooling, it stays cool. If you've got heating, it stays warm. And then I checked out the videos on Island Packet 380, because I looked at the bigger models.
And why the 380 then? Did you feel the bigger models were just too big for what you were going to do?
Well, the thing is, first of all, as a starter, I needed something that was manageable, at least by 1 or 2 people. Which, till now, it has always been 2 people sailing, which is excellent. So I've been able to basically be the crew, and I always had a very competent skippers like yourself.
Well, thank you very much.
So for me, I think at some point I'll be able even to manage to operate this on my own.
Yes.
And everything is so easily placed to reach, and so you don't really need to go forward. Everything is done.
Everything's led back, isn't it?
Everything
to the cockpit.
It's got a bow thruster, it's got the autopilot, and so...
Of course, and can I ask, this boat, and I don't want to get personal with the previous owner because that's their own business, but this boat has been set up to do really long passages, hasn't it?
It was set up for ARC.
Okay.
And, to enter an ARC rally, they go through incredibly detailed inspection. And if you don't pass, you don't qualify.
That's right, they did the first leg of the ARC
leg
from the UK down to Portugal.
Absolutely.
And then, unfortunately, their plans...
Unfortunately, sickness basically altered their whole plan. And the boat was put up for sale in the morning, afternoon. I just checked. It's just incredible. I was the first and the last.
You wasted no time. You went straight in there.
I had already decided on 380.
The crew you had in mind was yourself and your wife, and
well,
possibly...
my wife unfortunately doesn't have a sea leg.
Okay. Yeah.
So...
yeah, well, I know all about that.
So that is one thing, in her credit, she is good in many areas, but the sea is not one area that she feels comfortable with. And okay. Originally, we had looked at the catamarans, and she said, no, it's, boat's not for me. So I basically had to compromise one hull in order to satisfy my my needs, and so I went for a monohull. And this was the monohull that I picked. At the time, there was one available, and you know, in Europe, it's very rare to find
an American-built boat. Yeah.
These boats, and these are not well known, but I think they're one of the best built boats ever. And I don't know, by my saying this, maybe the prices will hike up for others, but
well,
as a fact, if this was built in Europe, I can tell you it would be 60-70% more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking Cirrus yacht quality here, Hallberg Razi quality, Naiad, and
Yes.
and when I've spoken there about a few brands, did you go and view any of those boats?
Absolutely, they were one
Okay.
of the first that I viewed, because I looked at ocean crossing cruisers.
Okay.
Because we are in Atlantic, don't forget, and Villamora is in Atlantic.
Oh yes.
And so you've got to have a boat designed for the Atlantic. Yeah, there are nice other boats. And I don't know whether I'm going to do extended cruising or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, even the short rides that we do, it's so comfortable.
Yeah. Coastal sailing is absolutely fun.
And with a long keel, you really barely feel the movements. Particularly when you're motoring, headwind.
Yeah.
You're just sitting and you could keep your drink on the table more, almost.
It's a very well behaved boat, absolutely no question
yeah.
about that. You've had the boat for a while.
Yes.
What would you class as the best part of this boat for you? Now, I'm not talking about as sailing performance or anything. What have you found that you absolutely enjoy about this
area.
boat?
Look at the area we are sitting in. All right, and if you take a look at the galley later, you see that's a galley. Two people can function in there.
Okay.
It's got a massive fridge and freezer.
It certainly does, yes. Yeah, and it's a
amazing
beamy
amount
boat.
of storage, and there is storage right under where you are. Some of them you really have to, fall very deep to get the bottom. And this turns into a double. That's a perfect single that you're sitting on. And this table folds up, and then you have this entire area as an open space. So it gives you that open space that you will possibly have in your apartment.
Yeah. You could have a
Right?
dance floor here. I mean, it's
You
big.
could.
It's a beamy boat.
And I do yoga,
Very good. Okay.
and for that, this space, and once I open that hatch,
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
my hand goes right up,
Okay.
and as you can
Well, we'll look at it.
see, I've got plenty of space here.
You certainly
and
do.
I'm almost 5.75,
Okay.
and it's got plenty of
You certainly
space
do.
there.
A visitor to the boat a couple of days ago, a technician, and he was 6. We reckon he was 6'7" or something, was he?
6.8.
6'8". I mean, that's not.
And he said this was the most comfortable boat he got on because he didn't have to bend too much.
too much to get.
And
So there you go. The Harlem Globetrotters would be okay in here.
And the quality of the woodwork is amazing. Now, this is a 23-year-old boat.
Okay, 23 years old.
23 years.
23,
This
so
was
it's a
built
2002.
2002.
Okay.
No sound when you are cruising. There's no creaking, no, squeaking of the wood.
It's solid, isn't it? It's just solid
Absolutely
boat.
solid.
Super. Well, we have to remember that this boat was designed by Bob Johnson,
He was.
MIT graduate,
Oh,
worked for McDonnell Douglas, I believe, as well.
Correct.
So it's just such a comfortable boat. And let's have a quick look at the galley here for a minute. So we've got.
Sure.
Now, I was really impressed with this stove. I'm going to take that cloth off for a second.
Yeah.
This is a Force 10.
10.
A Force 10. Now, I think whatever boat I'll get, I'll definitely be ordering one of these stoves for
This
it.
is that top
it's
of the
solid.
line, and
Yes, it's wonderful, and it's chunky, and I like the knobs. They're good, solid feel to the knobs.
Yeah,
and even the stainless steel. Tonight, if we can turn off the gas.
You can turn off the gas,
Perfect.
and then you have one from the where the cylinders are kept.
Yeah, you can shut it off in
Actually,
the regulator as well.
Cylinders are kept behind this. This is like a false.
Okay, okay, so there's nothing in there.
No, behind this, from the outside, you insert.
Oh, that's your
the
that's where your
gas
cylinders.
tanks. Yeah,
So does this open at all?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay.
This is just a show.
Okay.
To basically create a harmony inside.
Yes, and it does wonderfully,
Yeah.
wonderfully.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've popped up the saloon table, and that's now covering up the drinks cabinet, and now we can see the huge floor area. Okay, do you want to stand in the middle and just demonstrate how? Hey, but there you go. Okay, okay,
All right.
Super. That allows you to
So
stretch
you
all
go-
the way up. Lovely. Okay.
This was done very well, and behind every of these portholes,
You have a little screen to put in. Super.
So
These, I absolutely love the quality of these. That I mean,
Pure
you just know that
stainless
it's
steel.
pure stainless. They're well latched in as well.
And you lift
Look
it
at that.
and you
And you know, look,
Basically-
show the hook.
hook
The hook.
it.
I mean, there you go. Look at that for the detail. The hook, and the hook has its own little hook
Yes,
to
hold
keep it out of the way.
Yeah. it's
Look
good.
at that.
And
That's
from
fantastic.
little
Rubber
noises
seal.
that may.
Yep, but it's that attention to detail, you know, that you can see the guy who designed this boat thought of everything.
As you come in, you have the door. It's here.
You do.
You have everywhere. You have hold.
Somewhere to grab, and you've got
Here.
that post as well.
Here. 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 You are bending to do something. You are not. You are your 3-point is always on because you're holding on to something.
Now it doesn't have what we'd say a dedicated chart table, but it certainly has this, which
It has.
is enough.
And it's got space for you to keep your
Yep.
essentials underneath. if you need.
Okay, oh, and you can sit in like, okay, very
And
good.
then
You've got
all
your switch panel, yeah,
instrumentations.
all your instrumentation.
And
Very good. And then I did see something, I seen you the other day at this this pull-out drawer underneath the bunk.
this is
And
for
this-
your paper charts.
And look at that, for the paper charts. Isn't
Yes.
that wonderful?
And
Look
it's
at that,
quite
lovely.
deep, quite
It really
goes
is,
very
isn't
well.
it? Look how deep that
Alright.
is. That is
So,
absolutely wonderful,
uh,
wonderful.
so
This
you
is
need
an
a
extra
lot of
little.
kitchen space.
Yeah,
And this gives you the ability to use this right now.
that's it. If you're standing here
I
in the galley.
I put that towel
Mm-hmm.
over there, but there's a massive storage there for your pots and pans.
Oh, underneath here.
Underneath there.
Okay, let's just sneak
So,
this back for a second and have a look.
Have a look
Okay,
there.
let's
So
see.
normally, when you are in
Yeah.
use, this is what
Ah,
you
look at that. Look, okay. Oh yeah, well, loads of space. Absolutely loads of space. I didn't
Right.
I didn't realize that was there. I've been
Yeah.
on this boat for 2 days.
And then you have a little pantry here. I
Yep,
mean, quite
okay.
goes quite deep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure
you
does.
have your cups, which is very long.
Oh, look at that.
So you
Okay.
can have cups for many,
Mhm.
many. You have your
Yeah.
hot.
Now, tell me about the shower. This is the, you can see the shower head. I'm going to step back this side just so we can get a better view of this, because this has something special, doesn't it? The heads. I'm going to step back out here just a little bit just to give a better view. Okay, let's just try this again. Show me. Okay, so there we go. So there's a real shower door. Okay, that opens out, so it protects the whole area, and you can have a shower without drowning the whole place with soap and water. Now, you're not going to find that on many boats. That is wonderful. And again, this comes down to the quality of an island packet, the absolute comfort that this boat affords the crew and the owner. Wonderful. And it all folds back neatly. There we go. Okay, and leaves you with a full standing mirror. My wife would be very impressed if she was here. Full standing mirror.
And
Lovely.
one of the
Lovely.
key things is for the ladies, they can see themselves dressing up
Ah,
by looking at this window, at this mirror, and see the reflection at the back there. You can go.
Oh, let me see. Okay. Yeah, okay. So as we are standing here, look at that. Yes, you can see the back of your head. Okay, yeah, where I used to have hair many years ago, you can see the back of your head. That is fantastic.
Full length mirror.
Okay, moving forward into the owner's cabin here on this Island Packet 380. Mansour, it's a wonderful, wonderful cabin, and I see the bed is nicely situated that you can get on from either side.
Yes.
Which is a real
And then you
joy. Okay.
have a door that gets you into the head.
Okay.
The master.
Okay,
And
look at
then-
this. Wow, fantastic. And okay, I'm actually going to sit down here on the head just for a second, just so we can show everything. There's Jack and Jill doors. So we've got a door there into the main owner's cabin, okay? And then if we look slightly to this side, here we go again. So we've got Jack and what we call Jack and Jill. So the crew, if needed, can come in through this side, and you can lock it off, and then you have got your own as well.
Oh. Little touches here and there that makes this boat so special.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got hooks everywhere, haven't you? There's little hooks to hang things up on. Again on this door here as well. I mean, there's 5 hooks in the heads. 5 hooks, so there's all your nightgowns and towels and everything hooked up around that. You've got above you there, you've got your opening hatch. Along with the opening hatch, you've got again another one of these fantastic windows, well secured in, and again there'll be a mosquito here and there. Okay, plenty of storage there. And do you know what? I don't want to get into too much detail, but I did sit on this at one stage on our little trip and felt I was in a much bigger boat than a 38 foot. I mean, the amount of space in here is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we're just going to step back through to the aft cabin. So, okay, now I know you're using this currently as storage, okay?
Indeed.
Being a solo sailor like myself, you're using all the space for storage.
There's a cold zero and a lot of the side covers and seats.
Okay. And I see cushions here as well, lots of cushions. Now I'm gonna confess, I've stayed here for 2 days, okay? Okay. We did have things pushed back a little more, and I stayed here for 2 nights and I had a wonderful, absolute wonderful sleep.
Opportunity.
We'll move a few things. Yeah. There is a little secret compartment here, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Move a lot of the stuff.
Again, we have pointed out that this cabin isn't used too often. It's more for storage than anything else. Look at that!
A wash basin with a mirror pops out.
Okay.
So
there we go. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. And there it is, all pushed back. And you would never actually know that beneath that hatch lies a hand basin. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful.
Lots of storages all around.
You've got lots of storage. Lots of storage.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know this is being used as a storeroom, so we've got everything all over the place, but still lots and lots of space. So for 2 nights I had a wonderful sleep here, and what I would do is I'd put my pillow up here, right, and I'd swing back. Now remember, you're not sleeping lengthways on this boat, you're sleeping across. You can do that because the boat has such a big beam. So I let me try and get you a better picture here. I'd sit here, my legs out there, sleeping bag on. Wonderful. I mean, this in itself could be an owner's cabin, and I think, Mansour, you said some owners do actually use this as their owner's cabin. Yeah. And I had a great sleep, absolutely great sleep. So fantastic.